I've reached a point now where I feel like these guys are just eco-terrorists. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. And by the way, I'm glad
Thank you, that's the end of the show.
I'm glad that
I'm
glad that you mentioned the media aspect of that, because it amazes me, actually, that after every single one of these stunts, you then see, invited on by various channels, these people, essentially giving them exactly what they want, and thereby massively increasing the chances that they're going to continue with this behaviour. But look, I listen
You're part of the problem, Michelle.
I listen to a... Well, no, it's good for us to discuss it. You're not having them on, these nutters on. In terms of what went on today, what's been going on, there was a guy today, I heard his comments on the radio, that he'd missed his father's funeral. You know, these people, not only is this dangerous, these people are having serious impacts now, negative impacts on people's everyday lives. And make no mistake about it, this is far left extremism. They know that these policies have very little public support. I mean, the Green Party or whatever, you know, pottering around on minimal levels of support. They know they can't win these arguments through the ballot box through democracy.
The Green Party, by the way, yesterday, the co-leader or whatever they call themselves, described GBNews, get this, as a something like an extreme far-right propagandist channel when one of our presenters dare question some of their statements. But anyway, just hold that thought. I want your thoughts specifically on the concept of, are these people eco-terrorists? I say yes. Michael says yes. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think they're eco-terrorists. The interesting question to me, I think,
Hang on, then, just press pause, because you said you don't think they are. So just hold on, Michael, because before you come on, I'll tell you why I think they are, and I want you to respond to this. You don't think that these people are eco-terrorists. The Terrorism Act 2000 defines terrorism both in and outside of the UK as the use or threat of one of the following actions below. Whether it's serious damage to a property or creating a serious risk to the health and safety of the public or a section of the public. And this, in order to class as terrorism, has to basically, the use or the threat must be to advance the purpose of a political, religious, racial or ideological cause. That's the definition according to the CPS. How can you dispute that?
I don't think that these guys meet that threshold.
Really?
I don't think they meet that threshold. But what I would say is, are these protesters going to be known in the future as the suffragettes, or are they going to be known as eco-terrorists in the long term? I suspect, and I may be completely wrong about this, I suspect they will be more like the suffragettes. Now, you've invited me onto your show. You presumably didn't think I'd agree with everything you said.
Oh, my
it's
God.
not me laughing. It's it.
No.
Go on.
No,
I'm
it's
listening.
unbelievable.
Okay.
I'm listening intently.
I know this isn't a popular view on GB News. The reason I come on GB News is to put the other case. We are in a climate crisis. We are facing a climate catastrophe. A lot of presenters and guests on GB News do not like the migration crisis. They don't like the idea of people coming to this country to seek a better life in dangerous conditions over the Channel. Let me be absolutely clear. If the predictions of the implications of this climate crisis come true, and I suspect they will, and I'm someone who believes mainstream science, we are going to have a far bigger migration crisis. Far many more people are going to die. We may go to war because of this, because there will be fewer parts of this world where we can live. Bangladesh could go underwater. Imagine how many people are going to come over from the subcontinent to this country if the climate crisis happens. Would I go onto the M25? No, I'm far too squeamish for that. Do I have a degree of respect for these people? Because, after all, they're giving up, in many cases, comfortable lifestyles because they believe in this so strongly. And the consequence of that is that they may go to prison.
But
That's brave.
You said earlier on in this programme, you were saying you were so terrified by this concept of COVID and passing COVID on that you gave yourself, or you experienced mental health issues. When I look at some of these people and they're dangling themselves off this, that and the other, I actually feel quite sorry for them, because I think that not you, but these people, they have terrified themselves to within an inch of their own lives, that they think that what they are doing is justified.
They've been radicalised. They've been radicalised.
They have.
And I just want to make this point as well, that the Conservative government we've got, I'm afraid, do have some responsibility for this, because the fact that this has been going on now for a month after month after month, shows that our criminal justice system isn't even enough of a deterrent to sort of these middle-class green lunatics. If it's not a deterrent to them, what sort of deterrent is it to hardened, dangerous, violent criminals? From what I've seen, that on some of these blocks, on roads, etc., you've seen people there multiple times. So what the hell's going on here? The reality should be, and the message should be, if you do this disruption, you're facing jail time, you're going away for a couple of years. Unfortunately, we've got a criminal justice system in this country now where even when it comes to knife crime, for goodness sake, people are getting suspended sentences and avoided getting banged up. That's the problem here.
Just to respond to that, first of all, our criminal justice system has been criminally underfunded. The cuts of the Conservative government the last 12 years have been quite astonishing and terrifying. So I agree with you on that. Look, these people, maybe they've all got mental health issues. I suspect maybe some have, many haven't. They really fear what's happening to the climate. And the answer, in a way, I think, Michelle, if we're honest, in the impact of what they're doing is the fact that we're talking about it now. And it made it much easier when I was hosting my national radio shows to talk about the climate when people were doing this sort of thing. Do I justify the law breaking? No.